Thornton Cricket here with the lone survivor of the Pequod, Ishmael. Ishmael, tell us a little bit about your journey aboard the Pequod.
Well, I moved from New York to New Bedford to be on a whaling ship, the Pequod, and I signed up and I've never done it before, so I ended up just being a regular crew member who just, cleaned the ships.
Wow. Alright. So Ishmael, a little bit about the people that you met on the Pequod.
Well, I met my best friend, Queequeg, on the ship, and he was a harpooner. And we met actually in the inn the first night I was there, in Nantucket. And
Ishmael, tell us about your friend Queequeg you mentioned to us earlier.
Queequeg was a harpooner on the ship, and we have a replica of one of the actual harpoons that they use. And so here we have the blade, which would be stabbed into the whale, and then these little spikes is what kept it in the whale, and then the rope would be attached to the boat. So that's what the harpoons look like.
Alright, thank you for showing us.
Welcome.
Queequeg, tell us about your captain, Captain Ahab. What was he like?
Oh, Captain Ahab, I didn't see much of him the first day or two on the ship, and he finally came out, and I was surprised to see that he only had one leg, so that was kind of shocking.
Yep.
I later found out that it was Moby Dick who bit off his leg, and he had a real problem with Moby Dick, and he sought revenge to kill him, and that kind of took over his life on the ship, and that's kind of what led to it sinking.
Was the crew annoyed with his obsession of the great Moby Dick?
Yeah, there was one officer, Starbuck, who disagreed with Captain Ahab's decisions and was always kind of trying to focus on just getting and killing whales for money instead of Moby Dick in general.
So a little bit of tension on the Ishmael, tell us a little bit about why we hear so much about you when it comes to the story of Moby Dick.
Well, I think it's because I was one of the most educated of the men on the ship, and I was able to see and understand the things that were going on the ship better than anybody else, and so I was kind of like the narrator, and I saw how Ahab was reacting with Moby Dick and his obsession with him, and I was able to understand what was happening with the crew members.
So we know that Captain Ahab was obsessed with seeking revenge and killing Moby Dick. How do you feel about this?
Well, I kind of disagree with it because I think that whales should be more free to do as they please and not be hunted down by crazy people like Ahab. I remember actually saying a quote when I was back on the ship, and that quote was, "These inscrutable creatures at the center freely and fearlessly indulge in all peaceful concernments." So
what did you mean by that?
What I meant was that whales can be, scary and people can fear them, but they're not all bad, and that we shouldn't try to hunt them down because they'll only get back at us. Kind of, which is actually what happened with the Pequod, and how once Ahab tried to kill Moby Dick, he came back and sunk our ship. But luckily I was able to survive.
Tell us about your opinion of today's society, and more specifically, the whaling industry today.
Well, I am very happy to see that there is a huge decrease in the number of whales that have been killed, and how it has become illegal in the majority of places around the world for killing whales. And so I think we're making good strides in the whale industry.
Thank you so much, Ishmael, for joining us today. We know it was so hard for you to relive and tell us all about those memories aboard the Pequod.
Yeah, it was a little challenging, but thank you for letting me share my story with you all.
Thornton Cricket, signing off.
Ishmael.